I'm taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
So before we get up out of here, I know we did a Twitter poll today. If one of you guys can go dig it up really quick.
Let me see.
I got it. Mm-hmm. Where are we at? Oh, right here. Yeah, we did a part 2 of the last poll. And it was, which of these fighters do you think was truly elite? And we had a part 2 with different fighters this time. We had Nonito Donaire, Anthony Joshua, Timothy Bradley, or Mikey Garcia. We got 23 votes so far, and 48% said Nonito Donaire, 22% said Anthony Joshua, 17% said Timothy Bradley, and 13% said Mikey Garcia.
I'm actually interested. It's actually the skewing. Like, honestly, I thought Mikey Garcia would probably be.
I thought Mikey would get a lot more. That was surprising.
I think we gotta try one without a smaller weight, because I noticed both times the smaller weight won. I like to see one without I'll
be honest, it's interesting because, how do I say this? I don't mean this in any knock in any way. I've always Nonito has a great resume as a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I ever looked at him as an elite talent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, before the loss to Rigondeaux, like, dude was elite as elite got. Like, I mean, he had been undefeated for like 10 years, and dude was literally knocking niggas' senseless. He ended a couple careers, with his brutal. Like, he was. He had
undeniable power. But there were some fights where, I feel like I was watching, and he was like, I don't know, it was like fighting a little bit more on even terms before the knockout game, but it was just like, bam, got him out of there. It's like, God damn.
I mean, he's one of the best Filipino boxers of all time, and a killer left hook. So it's like,
Well, you gonna say, Pat? You will say what?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, as a flyweight, Donaire was, as a flyweight, dude was untouchable as a flyweight. Like, when he got up to bantam. Like, I can see where you said he was fighting more on even grounds, but he's still knocking them out. 122 was when he started looking like very mortal. Like, it didn't take long for him to start looking like he was an elite. I mean, he won titles up to 126, but he didn't look he didn't look elite at 126, and he was struggling more than not at 122. So. But the longest stretch of his career was at flyweight, and he looked very elite because he that left hook was elite as fuck.
Yeah, no, definitely had one of the best left hooks in the game.
Yeah, and it was clean. And it was a clean left hook, it wasn't PED infused. Like, that shit was clean. But
yeah, I mean, the other choices, Bradley was the guy at 140, but I never looked at him as elite. Oh, I hate it.
I voted Bradley because he's in the Hall of Fame. I
hated his fucking
I did
style,
pick Bradley because he's in the Hall of Fame. But
Bradley, I hated Bradley's style of fighting, but I hated watching it. Like, I'd say 85-90% of his fights. But the thing is, though, he beat elite competition, and it wasn't like he didn't get any. The only gift he got from an elite fighter was the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, that was the only one. I think he was elite in the sense of his resume was elite. Right? Yeah. But
that's the part I'll give it to him. Like, his resume is absolutely elite.
But as far as I don't know, I didn't like his style. I'd seen too many fighters had him flopping around like a fucking fish in the ring, whether it be Kendall Holt or Vodnikov, or just
I'd say this. I mean, at least Holt itself. I mean, Kendall Holt at least was like a world champion level. He had world champion he had good victories. So it's competition. Vodnikov is the one. I mean, Podomatic is the one who basically put an end to his career. And Podomatic was coming from the ESPN circuit. Like, Podomatic lost a war to Mauricio Herrera.
Yeah, because before the Bradley fight, I always looked at Podomatic as kind of like a club fighter.
Yeah, he was a I know LB because I know LB was me and him disagreed on this one, but Yeah, like he was a tough guy. Don't get me wrong. He was a tough guy. He had a chin. He had a punch. But dude lost a bloody war to Mauricio Herrera, who punched even less than Bradley did, and he lost that one clear and wide, like a legit 8-4 type of like. So imagine my surprise that that Provodnikov comes the closest to putting Timothy Bradley away, like really putting him away. So I think that's like the big stain on Bradley's career, because he has elite victories over elite fighters, but the one fighter that he could have lost to was not elite and didn't prove to be elite after that. So, that's why I didn't pick him. But his resume though is elite. I can't deny that it's not. He has wins over. He has the zeros of far too many elite fighters for me to say otherwise. I can't say it. Mikey Garcia though, but yeah, like I said, Mikey I thought was because Mikey, skills wise, out of all of them, he had elite boxing skills. Like he was the dude that I couldn't see losing until he went to welterweight. Because the only time I ever said he would probably lose was the Spence fight, and that was the one I wasn't fucking with because I knew I didn't like what I was seeing at 140. But Mikey though, Mikey's skills were elite, and him, and obviously training alongside his brother Robert Garcia. Like Mikey was an elite fighter as he went up the divisions. The unfortunate thing for him is he didn't love boxing. He was just good at it, and
it showed.
Yeah, and it showed too. But the funny thing is too, he didn't have any off nights like that. Like except the Salido fight, but that's. Well, no, Salido fight. He beat Salido up and down the ring though. But when Salido, gave him a little headbutt, he wanted out of that fight. But dude was always dude had the most elite skill set that I've seen out of those 4 people on there though. But if he had loved boxing all that much, he could have had a much better career. Because dude, he had in his prime he had too many. He had too many times where he was just out for a long period of time, out for years.
He had like contractual issues, right? Promotional.
Yeah, he had contractual issues. Yeah, and it's just like
he always wanted to just be a cop and just fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't really love boxing. He was just born into it. Because his big brother was a former champion. I just feel like he never had the passion for it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy.
Right.
He became a 4-division champ. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Like I said, he's a 4-division champ. He, like I said, he was a great fighter. Like he was the definition of a great fighter. It's just unfortunate that how he ended his career wasn't great. He could have been so much more than what he was. But like I said, what he did still got him into the Hall of Fame, though. So so you can't deny it. It's just like I think he went too far up in weight. He couldn't handle the Spence, and it was just like, and then Sandor Martin, basically outworked him, in a fight that was just like he didn't have to take, but he took it. So and Mikey was my choice too, because and he's not my favorite fighter. Joshua's my favorite fighter though, but Joshua had good stretches, but he didn't look elite. He didn't look as elite as Mikey did. Like Mikey, Mikey was punishing some cats at times. Like really, like there's no fight on here that you can say that before he lost that it's like, God damn, this was close. Like he was beating the shit out of people.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like say that's why there was no way I couldn't pick him. Like dude had even after coming back from 2 years being out of the ring and shit like that, he looked elite. So I have to give it to him. Like dude, that's why I'm just surprised that he had the least amount of votes. But I'm thinking that maybe it's just the fact maybe people might not know his career like that. I don't know, or people just remember the Spence fight. I don't know. Because truthfully, I thought it would have been Bradley that would have gotten the nod on this one. But
yeah, I think next time I like the concept. I just say next time we should try it without lower weights, because I feel like there's a lower weight. We have a hardcore fan base, and I know our fan base is going to pick not saying the lower weight's not elite. I'm just saying both times it was low, lower weight fighters that got.
Yeah, but I mean, but if that was the case, I would have expected Mikey or Joshua to, but it's like overwhelmingly Donaire. That's what I'm surprised about. Like, and he fought at the weights that most people would like to call insect weights, baby weights, all types of other
noodle weight,
rice weight.
Rice weight, yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm more surprised by that.
Yeah.
But we have 6 days left. Continue to vote on there and whatnot, and who knows? Maybe one of these, maybe the order might switch around by the end of this poll, or whatever. But I actually like the choices too. But it's just surprising, like who actually got the most, who got the more love. It's just not. I just didn't expect it because Tim is not, like Tim. I mean, Tim wasn't the most popular fighter to watch though, like that. But yeah, but I was just surprised that he, even he's like significantly up over Mikey Garcia. So, and then Joshua, of course, being a heavyweight is just like he's up there. But yeah, no, I like this poll. Like it was a really good one. So, yeah, like continue to vote on there. We have 6 more days, and there's not really any boxing like that. I mean, if you have nothing to do on after 4th of July, you can watch Carroll versus Harlem Eubank on DAZN. I will probably catch it when I catch it because
that card is so bad. Jesus, the undercard is bad. I mean, Cordy.
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Basically, it's one of those matchroom cards where it's just like the matchmaking should have probably been a lot tighter if you want to do a 4th of July card because it's a domestic card through and through. So yeah, but if you feel like watching it, that's what's on there, and that's what's on there this weekend. Else, enjoy your 4th of July weekend. If you're the type to use fireworks, make sure you don't blow your fingers off, or you don't go blind from letting one explode in your face.
Pause, but don't Jason Paul Pierre yourself.
Yeah, don't be an idiot, please.
Yeah, don't be JPP. And just be responsible. And God forbid, I know some neighborhoods kind of let off their actual guns and shit like that. I can't stop it, but y'all gotta be careful with that shit too. Luckily, that's not a thing in my neighborhood. I don't know about y'all neighborhoods if people let off the heat in the air for 4th of July. Mine is just a whole bunch of fireworks. There's like 3 different fireworks shows that I can watch from my front yard. But stay safe. Enjoy the barbecue. Enjoy if you're eat good barbecue and shit like that. Stay safe. And originally I was gonna plan a music show, but I'm like, this is a holiday week, so we'll probably save that until next week for that. You guys have any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nah, not really.
Nah, just stay safe. That's all. Stay
safe. Come back in one piece. We'll be back next week.
Absolutely. Or you might get a random live from Shuttleworth, doing his, training his future champions of tomorrow and stuff like that, or maybe even a cookout live. Who knows? Well, you never know. Shout out to y'all that be watching those lives, though. I be seeing the engagement on there, so that's good shit. That that you fuck with the lives and shit like that. But we out of here. So for myself, Pat Scorpio, New England representative, for King People Digby, and for Conscious Pilot. This is another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.
Peace. One
love.